My ex only wanted intimacy for himself. Now I'm left picking up the pieces. I'm in a state of shock this morning, and I haven't stopped crying since last night. It was such a curveball that I didn't see it coming. I've only slept a couple of hours, so hope typing this out makes sense. I noticed over the last few weeks or so, my boyfriend had been more withdrawn from me. We had a pretty couple of rough weeks with arguments, which mainly was caused by what I think was me experiencing a very early miscarriage, not trying accidental, and after a big one where I left for the weekend, we agreed to do couples therapy, and I'd look for my own place to give us space. He said he'd found a therapist. I had a viewing booked for this Tuesday for a little studio down the road to go to a couple of nights a week to have some space. We just got back from a mini trip away together. I mean, I should have seen the signs, as on the day we decided to resolve things a few weeks back, he moved my medical equipment. I'm recovering from a surgical injury, back to his place from where I'd stayed over that weekend to get some space. He then suggested only hours later me not coming home initially, despite living there with him for 11 months and him taking my medical equipment back that day to our home. The day it happened, ID had a rough session at physio and been sent home with dizziness and vomiting. So I remember just wanted to go home and rest and not dive into his scatty behavior. But I continued to look for places regardless. My boyfriend never fully stopped having sex with me over this time up until a week ago. We had quite an active sex life before, though we've both had temporary periods of low libido due to stress/work/illness. As it had been a short space of time, I assumed it was something else or the miscarriage news. But he'd been withdrawing it slowly since the argument, not touching me to get me going and not initiating etc. in the last week. He started declining sex altogether, but was accepting sexual acts performed on him. After a few times, I had an initial discussion asking what was up outside of bedroom/not during any activity, very calm, where he claimed he had a low libido, and another discussion prompted by me the following day, as I thought it may be something related to my surgical injury or rehabilitation causing pain, etc., and a post on another subreddit encouraging me to have a deeper discussion about it all. So yeah, I got a bit blindsided. This discussion led to him saying he wasn't sure about us/feeling close to me since the argument/ and was hoping the acts performed on him would bring back the intimacy. When I asked him why his focus was only on acts that gave him sexual gratification, he suggested that's how he thought we could best res-park the intimacy, then followed up by telling me how things weren't working between us and he was unhappy, dumping me immediately after this announcement. He tried to suggest that I move out in the morning, but I've held my ground and said I need to sort out my care needs and find my own space first. I just can't believe it. We've been together just short of 2 years. We had just got back from a weekend trip away where I spent time with his family and was helping to plan his birthday next week. My health, hormones, and mood had started to improve slightly from the suspected early miscarriage 2 months prior. I feel kind of used, but I also know that I wasn't forced into doing anything, and I did it because it was still my choice. But I'm really struggling with it, as I'm not sure how long he would have continued with this dynamic either, and blaming a low libido. How do I start to heal from this horrible experience? I've reached out to friends, but he keeps coming in every so often to check on me. I can't even go away for a few days until after Tuesday, as I need to stay here for my property viewing and rehab appointments, so I can even leave the place I've called my home for nearly a year. I know people on the internet won't be able to offer me much advice, but I haven't even managed to eat or shower yet this morning and could really use something to get started on rebuilding from here.